What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about what I hope is a pretty interesting product. I got an email just a few days ago from the guys and gals over at Antlion Audio, and they said, we've got this microphone called the ModMic Wireless, and we think it would be interesting to see what you think about it. So they sent it over to me. I've got it here, and we're going to unbox it and do a very quick, but hopefully relatively thorough review. As you can see, this microphone is $139, but it's kind of a novel concept because it's a wireless microphone. The best I can tell is meant to just attach to whatever device you would like to have a microphone on. Maybe you have a nice set of headphones, but they don't have a great microphone. I think we've all been there at some point in our lives. You can slap this bad boy on there, and then it uses a USB dongle, which I don't know if that's actually pictured here in these photos or not. There it is. There's your dongle. You plug that into your computer, and it will pick it up just like any other audio input source. Now, they wanted me specifically to test it with the Meta Quest 3. Now, the Quest 3 has a microphone built in, but it's not really good. There's a lot of sort of popping sounds and so forth. It's not a great microphone. So we're going to definitely test it attached to my Quest 3. I'm going to give you sort of a comparison back and forth between the built-in mic and this ModMic Wireless. But first, we need to actually unbox this thing and go through that process first. All right, guys, the ModMic Wireless Pure Performance Wireless Microphone attaches to any headphone, or in this instance, a Meta Quest 3 headset. You can see the specifications there. 2 microphone modes. That's going to come in handy because I believe it can do sort of omnidirectional or just coming from that one side, presumably where your mouth is. Quick built-in mute. It does mention here 12+ hour battery life, so that's something to think about. You have to charge this thing up. Of course you are. There's no way for it to get power. Quick mute button, powerful magnetic clasp. Can't wait to take a look at that. Charging port. Then you got your dongle down here. They both do have LEDs on it to show the different modes. Noise cancellation mode, broadcast quality. Very, very cool. So let's pop this thing open. I'm sure the anticipation is absolutely killing everyone. And we'll see what we think here. I need a knife. Oh, this is an interesting surprise already. We are in a pretty nice looking and feeling little carrying case here. Let's zoom in a bit. And you can see Antlion there. I like that a lot. That is very, very cool. Let's open it up. Not too bad. Read this. So that's pretty cool. So there's an extender for the for your receiver, and it's got the lights on it, so it'll tell you what sort of state it's in, and that is the receiver there with those LEDs. Ooh, the button is actually rubberized and grippy feeling. That is interesting, probably only to me. Here is the microphone itself. Get a look here at the plastic. There's a little bit of almost like discoloration on the plastic there. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the material. It's kind of odd, like it's changing as I look at it. The button is also grippy, and you can see there I hit the button and I turned it on. That is a bummer right there. That is USB micro. You gotta do USB-C. That is absolutely a swing and a miss for me. That's probably gonna be a bigger deal to some people than to others, but for me that is pretty annoying. And then that might be a mute switch. So according to the instructions here, that switch is actually not the mute switch. It is how you change back and forth between the modes, omnidirectional, or as they put it, unidirectional. So basically, do you want your microphone to be listening only on this side or on both sides? Let's take the pop filter off and we'll see what that actually looks like. So you can see both sides, so that's pretty cool. So you can have it receiving different modes, have the sound coming in one side or the other. I guess I should say one side or both. So here is that extender as well as your charging cable, which you may actually need to hold on to because you probably don't have many other USB micros laying around. And this is part of what kind of makes this thing work. This is how it's going to actually attach. As you can see here, there are 2, which is great to see. You're going to peel this thing off and stick it to your headset or whatever it might be. And then here on your headset, boom, that is going to lock into place. And that is a very strong magnetic connection. And because it's grooved like it is, it's not going to twist. So it's not going to be flopping around. It's going to stay where you want it. So that is a smart design as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is just plug this thing into my computer, and we're going to get it set up as a microphone, and I'm going to see how this thing actually sounds. I'm using an Elgato microphone that was relatively expensive, and it's a pretty darn good microphone. So we'll kind of do a quick comparison there, and I'll just show you how that setup process works on a computer. So I'm plugging it in now. You should probably hear a sound, which you just did here. And I'm not getting and it looks like I'm now getting a blinking blue light on the receiver, which means I'm assuming what I need to do here. So I'm getting a blinking blue light on the receiver. Back here on the microphone itself, we're going to turn it on, and I'm assuming, yeah, there we go. We are no longer blinking, so it is connected. Very cool. Apparently on this device, your LEDs are fairly straightforward. So you're going to have one that's yellow if it's charging. You're going to have this blue one either on or blinking if it's pairing or if it's actually connected. This means it is connected. And then red will tell you that it is muted. That actually looks more orange to you, but it looks red to me. So that is your mute button. At this point, I want to actually see what this thing sounds like. So right now we are recording with my Elgato microphone, but I can switch over to this Antlion microphone right now. That should have switched over. Yes, indeed it did. So this is the Antlion microphone, and we are pointed, you know, kind of towards the face. Imagine this is where the headphone would be. This little switch is pointed upwards, so that should mean that it's unidirectional. If I switch it down here, it should be omnidirectional. I'd be interested to see how that actually sounds as I rotate the thing around. And honestly, I'm pretty interested to know what it sounds like in general. So I just listened back to that clip, and I think it sounds pretty decent. It was definitely quieter than my Elgato mic, but that's something that you can adjust with your system settings. Just boost that microphone a little bit, and I can kind of show you how you would do that. So if you're running Windows, if you bring up your control panel, let's go into hardware and sound, and then we are looking for, I believe, sound will get me where I'm going. And yes, this box has popped up, and we have our recording tab, and there is the Antlion wireless mic. Let's go ahead and click on properties, and yeah, by default this was set to 63, so we're going to pump that up to 100. And then of course I am filming this through OBS, so I'm going to just switch this back to the Antlion wireless, and we will see how that now sounds. Is this actually boosted and loud enough? Is it now sort of as loud as my Elgato mic was? Let's find out. So obviously there's a lot less bass on this microphone than there is with this microphone, but I mean that really shouldn't be a huge shock to you. But when you're talking about microphones of its ilk, right? So like this little boom mic that plugs into the Logitech headphones that I normally use, that is a massive, massive improvement, and I can show you. So this is the microphone built into, I believe this was like a $200 headset. So you may be wondering, well, most of these headsets have microphones. Why would you want to do this? Well, because this is what this microphone sounds like. And then if we switch back to the Antlion, this is what the Antlion sounds like. So you tell me, is that an improvement or what? So here's my Quest 3, and the way that I did this is I took our little attachment thing, which you can see here. I peeled the backing off of that little 3M adhesive and actually had it attached to the microphone. The reason that I did this is I wanted to see what the angle was going to be. I stuck it on, kind of reached up underneath it, and then peeled it off. Now it says that I should actually apply pressure to this for at least a minimum of 60 seconds, and I should then wait an hour before actually using it, but overnight is going to be better, just to allow that adhesive to really, really grab a hold of this thing. And of course, if you do mess it up, they did actually send extra little adhesive things with it so that you can try that again. Make sure you use the alcohol wipe and get the surface nice and clean first. But I'm going to go ahead and try and skip ahead about an hour, and then we'll see what this sounds like. All right, guys, so I have the microphone attached to my Meta Quest 3, and hopefully this sounds quite solid. Something to keep in mind, though, this audio is being recorded to my computer, which you can see is actually recording right now. And I'm going to be syncing the audio captured here up with the video captured from within my headset, because unfortunately there's no way to use an external mic currently with these devices. They're captured separately. Well, what can you do with that? Well, you can actually still do quite a bit. If you are streaming or recording content from your Quest 3, you're going to want to use an external mic, right? So why not do that? You're going to be maybe having an external camera filming you, so you have that third person perspective to jump back and forth between this, what you're seeing, and what anyone else would see if they were looking at you. So you can record this audio to another source and then sync things up, and the end result is that you can have some pretty nice, gameplay like this, but actually have some audio that isn't absolutely terrible. And I'm going to let you hear what the audio would sound like if I were just using the Quest 3's microphone here in just a second. I can forget that ModMic is even attached pretty darn quickly because it's relatively lightweight and it doesn't really get in my way either. So I think if you're a content creator with the Quest 3, this would make quite a bit of sense. I mentioned that I would let you hear what the onboard microphone sounds like, and that is exactly what you are hearing right now. It's not the worst mic in the world, but I do notice lots of little pops and things like that with the microphone, the ModMic microphone, which I actually took off and set right here. There are instances, sure, where maybe it's hanging down and you brush it if you're playing like a very active game. But this microphone just kind of does that when you're talking in general. So there's your comparison back and forth between the Antlion ModMic wireless and the onboard microphone for the Meta Quest 3. If you are a VR content creator, I think that is going to make a ton of sense for you. You're just not going to want to be using this built-in microphone. I immediately determined that it was not very good, and I was actually using a wireless lapel mic and filming that sort of third-person B-roll with a phone because it's just not good. And this is potentially another way to go about that. And if you're one of those content creators, maybe you've got that camera, you're filming at OBS, man, that's a pretty decent little workflow. Or again, like I mentioned, you've got a pair of headphones that you really like, but the mic sucks on them and you don't want to have a boom arm like that. That is a pretty obvious upgrade, and it's going to be, even at $139, potentially cheaper than buying another headphone that maybe you don't like as much, just searching for that better microphone input. I am going to drop an affiliate link in the description down below. If you do click on that link and make a purchase, I will earn commission off of that, so that's a great way to help support the channel. I do want to say a big thanks to Antlion for sending this microphone over. As always, no money exchanged hands for the production of this review. There was no editorial input given, and they are seeing this review at the exact same time as you are, so these are just my honest opinions. As far as the build quality, a little bit more time to kind of look at it and think about it. It's not like the most premium looking thing in the world. I don't think it's going to fall apart or anything, but the plastic just, I don't know, there's something about it that just doesn't scream, wow, look how premium this is to me. I do wish that it wasn't USB micro. That is definitely a bummer, but I think what it can do is the most important thing, and I think what it aims to do, it does pretty darn well. So guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content just like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.